Hello and welcome again. 3 live streams today. 3 successful live streams. Let's see if or at least 2 so far. I'm trying for my 3rd successful live stream. Welcome aboard. Not too many people are going to probably be watching tonight because there's multiple ham radio streams going on. So I appreciate those who are watching this live stream, the Greg K6EGG live stream. 2.0 has a good live stream going. They're talking about the new 7300 Mark II, whatever. Dakota, nice to see you in there. John, nice to see you in there. Mike, Roy, Steven. I saw somebody else in there. Can't remember who. My right when I said successful, my chat is freezing up. But nice to see you folks in there. Joe, we still need to talk about that weird setup that you had on the logbook there. A couple things I want to touch base on. If you guys are coming over from the 2.0 live stream, I appreciate it. He's always got good contact there. Hello from Vegas, which I actually could have been there right now. Like, is this close? So they're talking about this new 7300 Mark II. Just check that out on Gigaparts. I'm going to bring this up because I found there's something on there that was pretty cool. And I'll bring that up shortly. Oh, hold on a second here. If you want to be a super meta restream clubhouse, nah, I don't like restreaming stuff because that's kind of like stealing, and I don't even like referring to stuff too much. But I do when I do that, I do put the link of the actual stream that I'm using in the chat, so you guys can go there, like it, subscribe to that channel, whatever. So I just kind of use that as a reference. Okay, I want to get to this thing here. I almost hit the goodbye button there. Let's get to this 7300 Mark II or whatever, Mark III or whatever the heck it's called. MK2. You guys know I'm bad with model numbers. These folks on 2.0 were just talking about it has an HDMI video out. Pretty incredible. That is cool. It also embeds audio, right? That is really cool. Although it has some weird features, like when you plug your headphones in, apparently it cuts out the audio getting sent to the HDMI, which I wonder if there is some sort of setting for that, for it not to do that. Sorry. I guess I'll be on my lonesome in Sonobus. I was hoping Tim Grayman Poto would be in here because he actually had one of these. I don't know if he was loaning it or what. So the folks in 2.0 we're talking about this the audio getting routed, and this is like really cool. I like that, and I'll tell you why. For a streaming purpose, having a native HDMI out, even though, and it's 720, I believe it's 720p, as opposed to it's a lower video quality and it's DVI out. And it's not just because it's DVI out, it's lower quality, because DVI can send up to 1080i, I believe. Someone probably that's a video person could maybe confirm, but I'm pretty sure because DVI is actually really good and clear. Anyways, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I have to take, for this 7610 that you guys see on my live stream, that actually has a really nice screen, nice and big, I have to convert it from DVI to SDI. I have an SDI converter, which I can't show you on the screen, instead of going to HDMI, because SDI is actually a better format to bring video in on. The timing's a little easier to lock, as well as because HDMI is more of a consumer video source. It's not to say it's bad, because it is good quality, but SDI it's cleaner. It has a better lock mechanism and everything like that. Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this up is it can send audio, which the DVI can't send audio. It cannot embed audio. They were talking about how to bring it into OBS, and they're saying they couldn't monitor. Well, you take a step back. The way that Josh is sending the audio through Zoom or whatever is not set up to send audio back to his headphones, which I get, because you're sending a different reference of audio. You're bringing it in differently than what you're sending it. So I understand that. As for this 7300 Mark II, whatever, I'm going to call MK2. So you guys know I have this digital / analog console here. Oh, sorry. Okay, here's the deal with this. Like I've said in the past, I can bring stuff in analog or digitally. So this IFB right here is a digital USB-C input. When I see this says M2 focus, this is actually a USB coming off the mixer that's actually a feed off of a monitor out of OBS. And I could select what monitor it's out. So if you guys hear the sad ham right here, this is being played through OBS, and the audio is being played through OBS. So I take that audio source and I send that to the monitor to here, right? Now, here's the reason why I'm saying this is I can create different monitor mixes out to send to these channels. So in theory, I can take that HDMI cable and go put it in my stream or put it into OBS, and I could take that audio source, not play it through OBS, mute it to OBS, and send it directly. So, and the reason why I'm saying that, so that's in time with what you see on the screen, because you got to make sure timing is correct. Like when my voice is seen, or you hear my voice, you want to make sure that my lips are matching with this audio. And the conversion from 4K down converted to 1080p and going through a HDMI to USB, you get about 2 to 4 frames of delay. Generally 2 frames of delay. And when it starts adding up as you add sources into your scenes. So I delayed this whole mic feed, the mixer feed, about 4 frames to match. I could turn it off and you guys could see the difference, but I don't really want to do that because I got it set. Anyways, the reason why I'm saying this is you take that audio source from the USB source that is coming from the HDMI source. You can select that as a source to the channel here. Now I can the way this mixer works is I can select any kind of channel to send a source to. So now you see at the top here, it's going to be hard to see. It says USB from USB 4. So this would be my 4th channel input. So I could put the analog version of that 73 MK2 into here, and I can press this button here, and it will be the digital version that's through the HDMI here, and I can route it exactly the same how I want it on the stream. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, it's probably going to be a cleaner feed without RFI in it. Because I have to run a bunch of, I run a transformer and I run 4 ferrites, 2 on the output of the 7610 and 2 on the input of the mixer to get rid of the RFI. And I still can't get rid of it on 17 meters. So, this mixer is amazing, and this is why I love this mixer. Is it's so useful. I can have USB inputs and USB outputs and analog inputs and analog outputs. It's because you're the classic. This is definitely some RFI right here. So, yeah, once again, so this, when you see this, this is coming from OBS as a source, and it's muted through it's muted on the OBS, and I'm sending it through my mixer as a source, because then that way I can control it here as opposed to having OBS control it. Sometimes I don't want it loud because people are talking or whatever, and I want to bring it down a little bit. So this is how I really looking forward to maybe getting this radio. So it's probably not going to be available for me to get for a long time because there's a huge back order list. So definitely interested in getting something like that. But are you going to be doing high-end productions? I think it's more about ham radio and sharing the hobby versus big. Just my sense of low-end videos. Well, I mean, the hobby is what you make of it, right? I mean, I don't know how to. I'm not arguing that fact. My thing is with this hobby is I'm bringing my video and audio stuff to you guys to maximize your audio and video sources, and I'm bringing my audio, my professional audio into my audiophile hobby audio into radio, which they coincide because of the audio over the radio. So, I mean, this is kind of a sideshow. I'm just saying, for me, routing wise, I'm like, that's so cool. You know, I'm really looking forward to that. You know, I can go at 4K at any point. The reason why I don't want to go 4K is it adds about 6 seconds of latency Now that's added of the 3 almost that I have right now. So I'm looking at about 9 seconds of latency if I go 4K native. It'd be very easy for me to do it. I just have to flip a switch and I'm done. I've done some testing on it. I don't see the point in it. I think I lose a little bit of video quality in some cases because of the conversion, because some of these sources are not native. I can bring in the screen 4K. I can bring in my camera 4K. I can bring in the mixer 4K, but you're not going to gain much from it. And it's also, a lot of people complain that I'm 1080 at 60 frames already. So I don't know. I don't see the point in it. Cause I'm up converting, I would say 80% of my feeds. Now, if I get that 7300, an up converted 720p is better than whatever that is. I think it's 480 by, I can double check here. Let's take a look. Let's see what the resolution is here. I don't remember what the resolution was. Oh yeah, it's a 480 resolution. So I mean, literally, that's nothing. And you're not going to gain anything by my face being in 4K. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it could, but I don't see the difference. Well, that's not true. I could probably get about $2,000 for my 7610, maybe. And I gain a little bit of functionality as far as the audio going through the HDMI. There's 2 USB inputs on the 7300 MK2, which I'll be able to gain another cat control. So I could gain a little bit. Is it worth it? I don't know. Yeah, see, upgrading a 480, and I think it's 480i. You're getting, is it 720? You'll almost double the resolution, so it'll look better if you upgrade it to 4K. But then you see, the other thing is you're going to start seeing a lot more latency. I don't need to add any more latency. Everybody complains about 3 seconds already. So I don't know. We'll see. But this radio, for me as a live streamer, I don't want to call myself a content creator. This would be really useful to add those functions. So I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I don't know if it's going to work the way I want it to. I don't know. I don't think. I have to think about it. You'll get 25, 70. What does that mean? Is that wider band audio? I doubt it. I think it's just the same as. Oh, really? 2,500? Wow. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I just don't know if it's worth it for all the hassle of doing stuff, because I'll have to get some new adapters, and as I think I'll lose the functionality of this. I can't show this. It's too far. I'll unplug it for a second. I have this little remote, which I use quite often. What's this thing called? RC something or other. I got too much dust on it. It's dark. RC-28. So I don't know. We'll see. But I like this. I like the fact. Where's the other USB on here? Is it in the front? Well, this sucks. They got all these. Where's the other USB-C connector? I only see one here, right? Am I smoking crack? I thought they said there were two on here. I thought they said there was two. I thought someone said there was two. Two COM ports. Oh, he's going in rig control for the second COM port. Oh. Think it's virtual? See, the other thing that kind of bugs me, and I wish I was on with the Gray Man Poto with the kids table. I think they had Ray Novak. I think that's the guy's name, the Icom guy. Why don't they put some sort of line level in without this stupid adapter? I mean, it's such a pain in the butt. You have to make this tiny little cables. I actually bought mine online. So I don't know. But the functionality of this thing for me, for a live streamer, and having a little bit better resolution, although this doesn't look that bad, but I'm running this through a scaler. So let me turn the scaler off, and the scaler basically it processes it and makes it look like it's 4K. Let me show you what I'm doing with this. You tell me this looks good. And this is what the scaler settings are. Watch this. That's the scaler settings. See how the resolution changes? Okay, here's with it on. And here's with it off. There's two different settings. I'm running it's a software. So this is it off. See how much better it looks with it on? Deeper colors. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to match that. Look up number 2. I did not. I don't know these people. I'm not going to act like I know them. It looks better off? Really? Not on my screen. Let me go back here. I don't think it looks better off. Not on my screen. But see how the detail in the numbers? They're harder to see. And they're more vibrant when I turn these on. And it gets rid of that noise around the numbers. Oh my God. That looks horrible to me. It looks washed out. This looks clear, stands out more. And this gives a little bit more love. A little bit more, you can see a little bit more. So, I mean, I don't know. I would love to make some contacts though on if anybody knows Ray Novak, send him my way. You need to turn the reference to see things better on the waterfall. It depends on what you're looking at. So the waterfall. The one thing I said looks horrible, but great to me. I can see the meter that ticks, but it is in your stream. I'm a little bit confused what that is. I don't know anybody. I don't even know a number to call. The gain on my waterfall? Oh, well, I definitely have it up on this. Well, that is actually down. You mean the reference? You say my waterfall is too fast? What is everybody talking here? No. I think the waterfall is equal to what they're talking. Like it's because I've done it where it's slow, and I rather have it matching like where the audio is at, if that makes sense. So where do all people talk on 80 meters? Am I close? Holy moly. That noise is brutal. 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't think I'm going to make a contact on 80 meters tonight. I do have a medical element to discuss. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I hear folks. So that's my 2 cents with the MK2 7300 or vice versa. I think it's 7300 MK2. What do you mean it's like 175%? Of what? Like relative to what? 3. Oh yeah, you're right. I do see something here. Oh, maybe not.
I don't need to be digital. There's enough shit that's digital in this world. Needles tell the story. Digital just makes shit up.
You know, there's some.
I like the old analog, that needle.
There's some validity in what he just said.
They're like watches, dude. They'll last forever. Versus a digital is just, that's like changing.
I can see on my waterfall the CW and could read it.
Well, what what I could tell you from working on high voltage was the analog meters were accurate, and they were
because they're actually
they were
voltage.
sensitive.
It's not
They
voltage
worked
getting
really
converted.
good. When you got a digital meter, that damn thing would give you reads before you even put it on a conductor. Yeah. Kind of like
So
shorts on a car. It's easier to look for shorts on a car with a needle meter.
so what's the setting to turn this down? Because I know there's another setting to turn something down.
They don't even exist, and you can't even tell if it's real or not. Yeah, and instead of shorts, they might have on capris or something else, right? Some other kind of pant. Yeah, no, I'm with you. There's purposes.
Reference is right. Balance your noise for.
It's certainly a good tool.
You mean my this? You mean like that?
One of them by itself is not the end-all be-all. That's even a voltmeter, right? A lot of diagnostic stuff in 120, 240 volt. A wiggy.
I don't like doing that because then I forget.
It's a coil. It takes a bit to light it up. Unlike
3830.
Give you millivolt.
What's on 3830? I'll forget to turn it back up and I'll lose my FT8 signals. Check. I'm not going to be able to hear anybody. Not with all this BS. Hello to 44 people watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button as you come in. What am I hearing something here? So, is this somebody from the stream in here? There is some other people talking close by. I want to hear them. I will go back there in a moment. That's a big signal right there.
Ooh, this is not good. No wonder some of my partners.
I don't really hear them like this.
After they have a half of a can of this, they're moving like cranksters on a good buzz.
So you see this on in the dial, you can see in the waterfall. CW, you can read looking on your screen without hearing anything. Because you're just seeing the toot toot toot.
Yeah, I don't do those anymore, Doug. I don't know. That you must have a really healthy ticker. You're definitely putting this to a stress test every time you drink one of those.
Who are you? Everybody changed their name, so I have to like relearn everybody. I have to kind of remember how people react to stuff, so I apologize. It's not fair to me. Oh, hey, dude. Seth, that's not his real name, Seth. I'm going to try to get on 80 meters right now. This is Kilos. Tim, do you want to get in Sonobus to discuss the 7300? MSK, whatever the heck it's called? I got questions. You're an audio geek. MK2? I'm bad at, like, dude, I'm so bad at mono numbers. I'm at work, I'm like calling stuff the wrong, but I know how to make them work.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf is the frequency in use.
It's nice to see you in here, dude. Are you still working remote stations?
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf is the frequency in use.
Can you work any Vermont stations and log it as Vermont? I can really use Vermont. I can give you a donation into your ham radio club. Dang. I'm going to try. You're not wrong.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California, outside of Los Angeles. Once again, this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California.
I hit the wrong key. That's a bummer. Is there any remotes in Vermont? I'm using something that, hold on, I'm trying to put this back up. I'm using a My Antennas 4010, and it's only good through 40 meters, but I've made contacts. I don't mind it. It works.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California, outside of Los Angeles. Once again, this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters. For a very short time, I'll be here.
It's never too early for ice cream. I had some soft serve 2 days in a row.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 80 meters from Chino, California.
I have to come back to this because this is not going to work. Tim.
Greg.
It's nice to see you in here. Oh, I'm putting you up on the screen. Well, not your photo, but
wow.
It is.
Do I need to send you a an image for you to put up there like you do, like a set ham when Eric's on here?
I could.
Yeah.
You could. I mean,
okay. Yeah.
First off, I've been watching some of your videos of, and I'm going to post your YouTube channel in my chat. My computer is freezing up. I don't know why. So I'm trying to get. This is why I run two computers, because I've gotten hosed a couple times trying to do stuff, and stuff freezes up. So this is Tim Grayman Poto's YouTube page. Please check it out. If you guys don't know him, I'm sure most of you guys do. Make sure you like him. Make sure you subscribe to him and watch his videos. Tim, how's that 7300 MK2? I hope I said it right.
Mark II, yeah.
Mark II.
I tell you what, I absolutely love it. I saw that you were in the chat there watching Jason's live stream, and I think represented the radio well, all three of them. It's a nice radio, and if you've got a 7300, it's all that and then some. And I think for me, one of the reasons when I had a 7300, I use it for POTA primarily. I purchased a Flex because I really wanted that flexibility of being able to connect remote. This brings all that. I can do everything I can do with the Flex remotely, but at a price point, I think that's a little bit more affordable than going with the Flex. Because to be honest, there's half the features of the Flex I don't use. So if this was an option, 3 years ago when I got the Flex, I would have gone this route.
All right. I asked this in a chat a couple of times and no one bid at it. And I'm going to ask you, and you don't have to answer it. If you had a 7610, it's hypothetically, do you think it'd be worth it to sell your 7610 and get the new 7300?
Receiver wise, you're going to do better with the 7610.
Interesting.
But that's well, I guess it really depends on how you use the radio. That's more of a contesting radio than the 7300 is. The 7760 is more of a contesting radio than the 7610 is. So it's three different layers of radio there. So it is I don't want to say it's an entry level radio. It's above entry level. But it is it's a good solid radio. It's definitely one that if you were coming into amateur radio and you wanted to make an investment, I don't think you would go wrong buying a 7300 Mark II, or to be honest, a 7300. Right now they touched about it a little bit on the live stream. Right now, I think those radios are sub $900 now because they've got well, at least the last time I looked at them the other day. They have a manufacturer's rebate on them, which is putting it right about $900. And if the improved receiver quality is not something you're necessarily looking for, and you're talking 12 dB at the very, very, very low end of quiet signals, would you notice it rag chewing? Probably not. If you're trying to pull in stations from the other side of the world, you may notice it. But that's I don't know. Remote, if remote is something you want to do, it's great. I'm not gonna lie. Today when I was stuck on the interstate sitting there in traffic, I was FT8ing the 73 Mark II from my iPhone. You can do that.
See, here's the thing, and Matt brought up a very good point. I don't use a second receiver. Rarely. I've done it like twice on my 7610. That's a big feature of the 7610, having the duals at once receivers. I think I don't like wasting stuff. I don't want to say I'm wasting the radio, but I am. I'm not using the features in it. One of the only reasons why I really wanted to get this radio, I didn't realize how much better of a receiver it was than the 7300 I did have, which I liked. The first thing I didn't like about the 7300, and I'm not ragging on the 7300, the interface between the computer and the radio was not very good. It was shaky. This is more streamlined, and it has the remote feature in it it has a built-in network. I like the functionality of the connections on this 7610. That was one of the big selling points of me getting this 7610 you guys see here. Now the 7300 has all that for less. I'm not using. I don't know. It's
that's a fair point. That is a fair point. And so keeping in mind the 7300 is 10-year-old technology. All right, the 7610 is not. 7300 takes a step further. Single receiver, but it does have the ability to have a receive antenna, a independent receive antenna from your transmitting antenna, which is nice. You're not going to get diversity, not like you would with the two receivers, but you are going to have that ability. So if you're in a high RFI area or just a noisy environment, you can go to a loop on the ground or a beverage on the ground, get down below where a lot of that RF noise is generated, and you're going to be fine. You're still going your transmitting antenna is still going to be up there, whether you're using a horizontal or a vertical antenna, depending on which way you want to roll. And to be honest, I've got both. I'll have a vertical and a horizontal antenna that I can swap between because you never know. Propagation changes every minute by the minute. So depending on how if you can have the space and can afford to do that, put two antennas up. But then also you could use the loop on the ground to bypass it. And for example, where you're at, you have a lot of RFI with your neighbor's solar panels and stuff like that. maybe but I don't know. I don't honestly know if you have enough backyard to open that out. I think you have to. It's about 100-foot square.
I don't. And see, that's the thing. I don't have. That's the thing about the 7610. I don't. That's some features that a lot of people would like to have, and I don't use it. The only thing I use out of this compared to my 7300 is the USB connection, which is really good, the network, and the screen. That's the only reason why I got this compared to the 7300, because I like the 7300. It would look well next to my 9700. I like the big brother, little brother, whatever. I like the way it looked, although this 7610 looks nice in my rack here, but I have a lot of stuff on there I don't use. And I don't like, and the fact that I heard MRD talking about the embedded audio, the USB, you didn't probably catch the beginning of my live stream, how I can route that in through my OBS back into my digital mixer. And
are you pulling
with
audio, or, and I'm not familiar with the DVI standard. Does DVI pass audio?
No.
Also?
No, it does not.
Okay, so what they were talking about, the HDMI, because that's basically a TV standard, right? So it's going to push audio and video up the cable to supply a monitor, a display that has audio. So that's what they were talking about. Josh was having problems because he had to split out his audio to pipe into Zoom, and he couldn't get that monitor back in his ear to be able to hear a voice contact. But under general circumstances like what you're doing, you would probably be able to do that without any problems, because you're controlling your audio in your own stream, where you would be able to take the audio right off that HDMI output.
Well,
pipe it in your ears, and however you do that.
I would take it off so like the way I play these, like those sound effects and stuff, they're actually getting played through OBS, and I have the audio send to OBS turned off. I have the monitor out sent to my VB card or VA card that sends audio to my mixer, and I pot that up as a source on the stream. I can do the same thing with that with the radio. I could take that audio off, I could strip it off the video, send it into my digital console, and then just pipe it up there. And the problem what I have is I get a lot of RFI on the output of my speaker out or whatever, which isn't technically really a good output. I mean, it's not the same ohmage as a line level output. I mean, it still works. It passes audio. It sounds decent, but I'm also running 4 ferrite chokes in there. I think the stripped out audio from the video might be sounding a little bit better, and in time too.
That would be a fair assessment. I mean, you're going to need a good quality shielded HDMI cable, but yeah.
Sorry.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm just sneezing.
Oh,
I potted down my audio so no one heard it.
Kind of looked like you farted.
The other thing, I had a couple people. Seth's done it on here. He didn't admit it. He tried to deny it, but I looked at the meter and I saw his meter move when that sound happened, and I believe Sam would admit to it. But anyways, the other thing is, I had a couple people ask me, why don't you go 4K? Why don't you do this? I actually do a lot of my stuff native 4K. I just don't have enough sources that are good enough to send to 4K. The only sources I have is this camera and my other computer screen, but it doesn't make sense for me to do it. But because the screen output is only 480, and upconverting that to 4K, I already have to run the scale through a scaler.
So with the output, the max output on the 7300 Mark II is 1280 by 768.
That's pretty decent. I mean, it's a little bit. Is it interlaced or progressive?
It does not say.
Progressive, you can upconvert a little bit better. The interlaced, you see a lot of the artifacts when you upconvert it. As far as, I mean, by the way, Matt's bringing up a very good point, and I agree with you 100%. 4K is not that big of a deal.
It does make a difference. When you're trying to, if you're thinking about watching it on TVs and standard, like 27-inch monitors, not that big of a deal. When you are watching it on a 60, 70, 80-inch TV, it can make a difference. But the other day I was live streaming with it. I had it at 4K piped into the thing, and I was streaming 4K and having it piped in at 10 something. It's not taking the full screen, so it looks fine. Plus, there's not a lot of motion video on there too, so that's another.
That's
thing.
the other thing. You're not really gaining it any.
But you have your radio representation there, just like you do with your live streams now. And that, I find that when you're live streaming, I think people really like that. They want to be able to follow along. They want to see what's going on. That is one thing about ham radio people. They are a very inquisitive bunch of folks, and you'd be surprised some of the questions I've got. And I get some. So far, I've put 2 videos up on the thing, but I'm also getting a lot of private emails too with people asking questions.
And to your point, when you do, I've gotten up early and watched some of your Sunday POTA live streams. By the way, I put his YouTube page in the chat. You folks need to check it out. I know there's 56 watching tonight now. You show more on your screen than I do. I just put my video up and take it off my phone because it's easier. And I get what you just said. I get people, hey, what frequency are we on? What are you doing there? We can't see anything but your face. Which,
Greg, we're seeing up your nose, Greg, is what we're doing.
Yeah,
buddy.
and it's reversed.
You might want to change that angle. I'm just saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. And to your point,
as your not your YouTube Elmer, but your Elmer on YouTube. I don't want to take Jim's. I don't want to take Jim's title. No, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm trying to take that title. So I'm not your YouTube Elmer. I'm your Elmer on YouTube, or I don't know, whatever it is.
I could get one of the. I tried putting like a camera on the 891, and it just doesn't look right. And I have to have the lighting right if you're focusing in on something on the camera. And I went off my computer and I took my hammers. I think I'm using hammers to do the logging, and I got 15 million emails telling them how bad I typed. Which I admit, but I don't need the pressure of somebody already talking about how my typing is versus my talking. So
I'm sorry, real quick. N3 WER. Can you Ham Radio Elmer? Can you highlight his comment there? The one about they changed the font, more round, not square. So I put a video out today. It was really about the quality of the 2 screens side by side. IPS. It's a color IPS screen versus a TFT screen. But one thing I noticed was that the font was different. The actual letter font is the same. It's the numbers that are different. And I kind of threw it in there. Now, as a IT person, if you want to piss anybody off, change little things like that, right? And I made that kind of like, did they think we would not notice it? And I pointed that out. Now the thing, and I've even had gotten some feedback from Icom on this one. Apparently, both fonts are in both radios, but the 7300 marks defaults to the square font or more boxier numbers, and the 7300 Mark II defaults to the more rounded numbers. My statement still stands the same as an IT person. You don't go changing the UI like that without and expecting somebody to not notice it and go, what the heck? Especially with amateur radio people who tend to focus on the smallest of details.
Can you change the font on the 7610? I thought.
Yeah, if you go to display, go to display.
Oh yeah,
display
basic
font,
round.
2 down. Yeah, 2 down. So basic and round. So they're both in there. Like I said, so I'm gonna. I'm not doing a mea culpa video, but I'm getting ready to record another video. That's what I was getting ready to do, so I can have it for tomorrow. To basically pointing that out. But once again, my argument still stands the same. You don't go changing the UI like that. I would think that both of them would default to the same font first and do that. I personally like the squared off numbers instead of the rounded numbers.
I agree with you. As you guys just saw my
feels like I'm
settings
getting
there.
feels like I get more bang for my buck because I get bigger numbers. Just saying.
I like my big numbers.
That's right. I like big butts and I like big numbers.
I was just gonna say that. I decided not to, and I was being good. But yeah, I by the way, Matt, I just see the FTX1. God, I'm bad at model numbers. I was trying to look at it at a ham radio outlet there in Anaheim. I had a lot of people wanting to chat with me, so I didn't have a good time to look at it. But I remember the screen refresh on that thing was pretty amazing.
Were you ham famous there or what?
Nah, I saw some people I haven't seen for a while, and I only had about 20 minutes, and they're like talking, and I was like, yeah, I would really like to see this radio because I was thinking about maybe snagging one at the time, and I'm not now. But it looks nice. But the 710 is twice the frame rate as the FTX1. And I think those Yaesus with the bigger screens, their refresh rate on there is really nice. Like it's like, wow, compared to maybe the Icoms. But I like the way the Icom screens are set up. And I know you saw me put something in with the menu system. Something that I really like as a engineer is all the menu systems are the same in the Icoms. I went through 2 different Yaesus, and the menu system, the tree is totally different, and that drives me crazy. Because I've kind of memorized the 891. It's kind of hard to go between the Icom and the 891. Some people like when Kim K6YYL, she's like, oh, go to AM, go to FM, and I'm like, well, how do I do that? I got to remember with the 70s with the Icoms, I just hit the LSB button or whatever mode I'm on, and I can change it. Pops up. You have to go through 2 menus to change it on the FT891. So
I have 4 menu-driven Yaesu radios, and 2 of them, the menus are identical, and the other 2 are not. So I have 3 different menu systems I have to figure out. The concept of the deep F menu is the same, but and so I have an 897 and an 857, and those are essentially internally the same radio. 857 being more of a mobile footprint, 897 being more of the desktop, tabletop type footprint. Menus are identical. The 891, different set of menus. The FTM 400, more icon driven menus, which I prefer, makes it a lot easier. But that was the conversation I had with Ray when I got the 705. I had 7300, and I was batting around the 705, and I talked to Ray at Dayton, and it all came back to that menu. And when push comes to shove, things get broken, and this was post-COVID. It's post-COVID, right? So, we're already have all been cooped up for the last couple of years. And you know what? I'm sorry, Jason Locke. I got a 991A too. So another menu system to learn, which is basically just a color version of the 991A or the 891. But the one thing I came back to was I said, right, whether it's 100 watts or it's 10 watts, it doesn't matter. The menu system's identical. I can tell my 9-year-old son which buttons to push based on the images, based on the pictures, to walk it through. My wife, they don't have to know anything about radio. If I get hurt and I have to walk them through it, I can easily do that, and they can easily follow along. Where I can't say that about any of the other radios that I have.
And to your point, like the 891 I have, I kind of like the menu system in it. I think it makes sense. But some of the stuff that the way they call like the EQ settings, like in octaves and stuff, it's like, that's not like a normal, that's more of a deep engineering thing versus just like, I don't know. For somebody just opening a package and like basic amateur radio, like people are going to get confused and not know what those mean. And they try, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It should be a little bit more basic. I do like the fact that you can change some of those features, but maybe put them in a deeper menu that you can't really get into. But I don't know. Well, I don't know. There's a shared mic. What are you guys talking about? Oh, you guys are talking about something else. But yeah, to your point, yes. And for me, I don't use my 891 too often. Only when I do POTA. I rarely use it inside the shack. And sometimes I don't use it for over a month. Like I didn't use it for 2 months when I went to Vegas and was with John over at Red Rock. And I'm like, I don't remember how to get to different modes or bands on here. I don't remember how to, it's like, it had to like take a second with the 7610. Everything's just right there. I could just make it happen. It's just annoying. I just wish it was more functionality with it and having, I don't know, whatever, but I'm going off on this. I think you guys get the point. But something I do like about the Yaesu is I think you can kind of hand tweak the audio in a little bit better versus kind of a more of a broader EQ settings with the Icom products. I need a 710 for POTA. That thing's too big. It has a tuner in it though. I can really use a tuner because the antenna I have just doesn't like the tune on 10 and 12 too good.
ATOS works fine for the quick hits like that.
Yeah, my problem is that if I'm in a noisy environment, the thing just doesn't like to pick up very good. And by the way, the ATOS is great. Like I used it in Arizona and Nevada, and I think it worked a lot better there because the noise level wasn't as bad where I'm at. But when I do my quick little POTA over at Butterfield down the street, there's a lot of noise in the area, and the antenna I use, the 750. Holy crap! I'm spacing on the name of JK Audio or JK MC. Yeah. MC 750.
MC 750. Yeah.
I don't get a lot of noise with it, and I also run that choke on there, which you suggested, and that made a world of difference. I put a choke on the ATOS.
Quite a bit of radials.
Yeah, I have 4 radios on it.
Yeah.
And I don't have that good of a ground with my car with the ATOS. I mean, it works, but it's very thin metal on my Tesla because it's an electric car and they want it to save weight. So I'm fighting a little bit with the ATOS, but it works, no doubt.
Well, the car should be well grounded from that perspective. I know a lot of people, they talk about, they get really bent out of shape about, well, you need to ground. Well, yeah, that was 1970s vehicles, not today's modern unibody.
Yeah, another question I always get, I got 3 emails, and I don't know why they put comments in. 3 emails. I can't believe you're doing a POTA from your car with an electric car. You got to be getting a lot of noise. I get 0 noise on my electric car because I don't have an alternator at all. I got 0 noise. Like it's better. So everybody, the naysayers, electric cars, great for POTA. You don't have any noise. I like it. It's perfect. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, I did it with I don't think I did a POTA with my other car, my Chevy Volt, because it has a generator in it. But yeah, so that is, I don't know where people spread that rumor from. You can do POTAs and inside your car without any noise. Alternator doesn't make noise in the car if people sometimes this time of year they'll leave their car on, which I Tim, I believe you left your car on your last.
Nope.
No,
I do not run my car while I'm activating. It makes too much noise.
there you go. I can run my car. I had I don't want to make people feel bad, but it was 80 degrees when I was doing that POTA last week, and I had to have the AC on. So,
yeah. So when I went out Saturday, snow cones is right. The Bronco is a noisemaker. It was -3 when I left. When the sun came out, it got up to about -1. With the with the heat blasting, I got it up to like 60, 65 in the truck, and it was down to like 39 or something when I ended the live stream, and I had the engine off the whole time. So in about an hour, it dropped that much, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm used to it. I don't enjoy that weather, but you know, I'm only streaming for an hour. It's not like it's a big deal.
I was almost going to Toronto. Was it last week? Things changed because I had some stuff to deal with here at home, and I looked at the weather there, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to go.
Toronto, Canada, or
Yeah.
Toronto, Kansas?
Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the good thing about
Because
Toronto
there's a
is
slight difference between
yeah.
those two towns.
But it's still pretty cold in both places. Toronto's not as bad
Can
for
be.
snow because on the other side of the lake, but no thanks. And it was like 80 degrees here all last week. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll stay home. But I want to get back to the 7300 versus 7610. I don't like to compare the two too much because they're two different radios. But
They're two different classes of radios. Absolutely.
do you think, okay, in your honest amateur, I almost said professional opinion, amateur opinion, do you think it would be worth it for me just to sell my 7610 and get a 7300 Mark II?
What's the used price on a 7610?
I'm getting messages as we speak, and I already got 2 emails. They're right around $2,000, and that's roughly what I paid for this. Where I bought mine used as well.
Okay.
And see,
And it's a famous, and it's famous.
Why is it famous? Because it's from Jim?
No, because you've made it famous here on the live stream. It has a provenance now.
Well, I got it from Jim, another YouTuber, though.
You
Believe it
talk
or
it from Rockland, Jim.
No.
you
I'm spacing. No, I'm spacing.
talking
He's
about-
up with T.O. I'm spacing on his call sign. Holy crap!
Oh, that Jim.
Yeah, that's where
Big
I got
Jim.
this. Yeah, that's where I got this radio from.
Big Jim. Yeah. FEP Labs Radio Jim.
Yep, he made it famous, not me. And you know what? He took it. This radio was like brand new when I got it, and even though he had it for like a year, I believe he had it for about a year. I'm very happy with the functionality with it, and everybody says I run this thing at 100 watts, FT8. Literally, you've seen I think you have the ham alerts, literally all day and all night. You know, I got up at 3:00 in the morning this morning because I couldn't sleep. And I played FT8 on 80 meters, and I made a couple good contacts.
Oh, I know, because I started getting your ham alerts at like 6 a.m.
I got off work at midnight. By the time I went through 4 road construction blocks and 52 miles, I got home after 1. By the time I took a shower, got into bed, it was 2, and I couldn't sleep. So, but yeah, this radio is a good radio. It's a solid radio. I wouldn't call it a professional radio, but it feels a little bit more solid than maybe my 9300, or sorry, my 7300. Like the buttons on it feel a little bit better. It's glossy. The wheel feels a little bit better. I don't know if better is a word, but it just feels like a higher end radio. And like you said, it's a different class. I believe it is a different class, but do I need that class? Do I need it? I don't think so, personally. I don't know.
Well, you know, that's such a, do you need it is subjective, right? And I would say that I don't know. I can't
get a good
for you,
answer.
right?
I can't get a good answer out of anybody. I love it. Except for Matt.
I don't want to be the guy. So the one thing I hate about so many people in amateur radio is that they run around telling other people what they need. And I've made a point of trying to not be that person. So I can't say what you need and what you don't need. What I can tell you is what I've got. And, I can say to myself, I went out and I bought a Flex 6400 and I'm not sure what I spent on it. Half that radio I don't use. It's kind of that same situation you're in right now. But it served a very specific purpose for me. And that was that I wanted to shed the control panel. I don't need that. I live in a virtual realm. Everything I do is virtual with work. As far as, I am a virtualization engineer. That's what I do for a living, right? So I don't need knobs and things like that. There's a lot of tactile people out there that need that. And so I bought the 7300, right? And, I'm sorry, not the 7300, the 6400, Flex 6400, just to have that remote functionality. And I've taken that, I've used that radio all over the country from here in the house. Now this radio is not in the house anymore. It's out here in the shed that my wife kicked me out of the house and made me move out to. And I'm out here. And so everything I do now is even remote, even when I'm in the house. I don't want to have to, it's 37 degrees out right now, but if there's bad weather, lightning, things like that, I got a thing. I got automation. It picks it up. It just shuts everything down. I don't have to mess with that. And I can do that and know that's going to happen anywhere in wherever I'm at, regardless if I'm home or not. And so that was my whole reason for getting the 6400. This radio, the 7300 Mark II,
I think we're having an earthquake here. I think I'm having an earthquake here.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I just felt something. I am not joking. We'll probably have to look it up here in a minute, but I think we're having an earthquake. I think I just had an earthquake. Did you guys feel that?
Uh-oh.
I swear I felt something. We'll have to look on the earthquake map here in a second.
See, and I thought it was because I was going on this rant that I was moving you, Greg.
But you know what? You make a good point, and Nate's in here. He can agree with me on this. I came from a car that had a lot of knobs and buttons, and I have a Tesla now. And I know a lot of people are like, Elon, whatever. This is not about Elon. This is about the change of the virtual world. With a Tesla, I have like 4 buttons in that car. Everything else is menu driven, and I actually love it because I work in that field of menu driven stuff. I could just go through everything and there you go. I was right. When was that? Was that just right now? I'll show you where Devore is. Yeah, we did have one in Devore 3.1, which I'm surprised I felt that.
That's like a, you get more of a jostle on a,
but I'm close.
roller coaster.
I'm close to Devore. I'll show you where Devore is here. Devore is right here.
Come on. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Can I point something out?
Yeah.
You live in California.
I know, but I always wanted to be on the.
It's part of the thing.
I wanted to be live during one of these. So this is Devore right here.
Just live.
This is Devore right here. Oops.
You and I were live when this happened.
This is Devore right here, and I live right here. I live right here.
Where?
So I don't know. Can you guys
Ontario,
see this?
Chino Hills.
Let me pull this out a little bit.
Well,
Devore is right
if
here.
you're that close, and it's only a 3.1. That was not even.
Yeah. That's not far. That's probably 10 miles. So I felt a nudge, and I'm like, I looked down. Like, what?
If you're look 3.1 and you're that close, that's like Gavin Newsom dropping his hair gel tube. I mean, come on, it's not that big of a deal.
I wouldn't call that right under me because, and by the way, Devore, you know what Devore is? It's the San Andreas Fault. So I hope that's not like a precursor to something bigger. 3.1's it's enough to feel.
Yeah. So oddly enough, the whole time I lived in California, every earthquake happened when I was out at sea. Never got to experience one.
Well, you could have rode a wave in. I felt some pretty gnarly ones here back in the day. Northridge is pretty gnarly. There was one in Upland that was fairly gnarly. I think it was in the sevens. Between 7 and 6 is a huge difference too, which people don't understand. But I did feel a nudge. I'm like, it was like because there's different kinds of feelings with earthquakes, and people don't realize this. There's rolling ones, and there's like these just like a pound, like a boom, and then like reverb effect. This was that boom, and then like a little bit of, I don't know. But yeah, that's not too far away. So that's enough to feel, but it was not big enough to really shake anything. And I'm in a second story too.
We have a pretty huge fault line here in Indiana.
94.
About every 10 years we get a good one.
In Indiana?
Yep. I mean, when I say good one, probably just what you experienced right there, right? But around here, where you don't expect to get earthquakes.
Yeah. Like if we get like a 4.5, we might like go talk about it. But anything below that, we won't even mention to our friends. We'll be like, If it's in the 5s, that's pretty sizable. You'll definitely feel that. That would explain why my cats were going crazy earlier. Maybe, I don't know.
If you didn't feel moved to get up and get in the door jam, then
no, I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe it was someone was slamming a door. Because I'm like, I looked down. I'm like, I looked down to see if anything was shaking, and it wasn't. So I'm like, that wasn't an earthquake. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I felt like my chair moving. Which that doesn't, like someone slamming a door doesn't affect that. But whatever, not that big. I was hoping for a big one when you guys see everybody like everything's shaking in my house and like light pops off. I think that would be great. That'd be great YouTube. I could put that into a short and have like 5 million views on ABC News and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be good for the channel. It'd be good for everybody here. Good for ham radio. Oh, some guy in California talking about ham radio, doing a live stream, and then boom, and then he goes on and saves California with his ham radio.
That's right. You'd be on TMZ and everything.
I know some people at TMZ, some really good friends of mine. So, DeVore, yeah. So I'm kind of equal with San Bernardino as far as south, but San Bernardino is a little bit closer to DeVore, yes. And it's not, I'd say it's under 10. It's about 10 or so less miles. Midwin, Kansas. And Seattle gets some earthquakes. You guys get them because of the volcanoes and stuff up there, I believe, if I recall right. I'm not into that stuff too much, but you don't want to get an earthquake at San Andreas Fault in California. Anything else you're okay with? San Andreas Fault is it's bad because that's the biggest fault. That's the ring part that starts the ring of fire into the Pacific. You don't want to get that. That goes all the way up the coast. It goes into the ocean and up to Alaska. I don't know. You guys can look up Ring of Fire, and that's I'm 4 miles away from that. Don't want to be a part of that. If we get like an 8 point something, my house will be leveled at that point. And that'll be a good reason to move out of California. There's some oceanfront property here.
New Madrid, the New Madrid Fault is part of the Wabash Valley seismic zone that runs up through Kentucky, southern Illinois, and Indiana.
Interesting.
We do get it, but not. It's not. They're not big. I think. I was looking at the list of them. 5 was about the highest that I'd seen.
I'm looking up at this. DeVore. See, if this was a 4.7, stuff would have been moving in my house. 3.1, you could feel it. So, that's
well, you just had a 3 something, didn't you?
3.1.
Oh, yeah, 3.1.
3-1 is
7 miles.
is noticeable.
Oh, look at that. You're 7 kilometers southwest of Devore, which is like Ontario.
Yeah, I am not far away. That's why I felt this.
Yeah.
That was
so it really
anything
wasn't Devore. That was 7 kilometers southwest of Devore.
So that's what.
Apparently,
3
the
miles?
Ontario airport does not rate high enough.
Let's see exactly where this thing was. Oh, yeah. So it's actually, you're right. It was closer. That was actually in Rancho Cucamonga.
Well, no kidding, with a name like Rancho Cucamonga.
Fontana. So yeah, this map kind of sucks, but I am very close. So this is where it happened here, and I live right here. So that is close. You're not going to get much closer than being right underneath you there. So that's pretty. So I finally did it. I did a live stream where we're having an earthquake, but nothing fell over. I want something to fall over here. And this light hit me, and I'm bleeding, and all this stuff.
You should have, props that you are on strings that you could actuate a button on your stream deck to have things fall off and make it.
I don't want to cheat.
Simulate.
Though.
Put a shake. Here I am. I'm shaking to the camera so you can see me. Have a shake filter on your camera so it looks like that the camera's shaking and everything.
So I could just be, oh no. All right. So it's 8 something here. I think I'm going to get going. Tim, I appreciate you being in here. I put your link in the chat for your channel. Hopefully you get a couple new subs there. Hi, Haley. I'm right in the middle of something. What's up? You going to bed? Mm-hmm. I'll stop by your room here in a little bit. Okay. Yeah. There goes Haley.
Good night, Haley.
Tim says good night. She says goodbye. She's like, yeah, who's Tim?
Who's Tim?
Tim's in Indiana, where he lives in an ice box in the central part of the U.S.
Yes, you know those old Eskimo igloos? It's kind of what I live in.
Seth, I don't think you met Haley. I think she was asleep when you came over at like 9 o'clock at night at my house. I don't know if you were watching one night, but Seth was actually in my ham shack here, sitting right next to me. I never thought he would actually be in here, but it worked out to be. Wow. It was last year about this time, I believe, right? Last November.
Hey, I see Kevin. You got Kevin in the chat. Traveling ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't like tornadoes. I'm good. I was in where was I at? I was doing a NASCAR event somewhere. Oh. Was it? No. I can't remember, but I look up and the screen started it looked like it was green or something. And everybody's like, you got to get inside. You got to get in. I'm like, what's going on? We're going to get bad thunderstorm and we could get a lot of wind. I'm like, and then we got tornado warnings and we ended up hanging out in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Had a little tornado symbol on it. I'm like,
around here, people say, hold my beer. When tornado sirens go off, people go outside.
I want to say that racetrack that's outside of Chicago. Do they get tornadoes there?
This Indiana, Illinois, St. Louis. This whole stretch is just a alleyway of tornadoes in the spring and summer.
It was in the late spring. Chicagoland Speedway, yes.
Yeah.
So
we
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say this past year we were kind of on we had a straight shot. So from the Dallas-Fort Worth, McKinney, Texas area, straight up through St. Louis, right up into through Indianapolis, and then on just from that southwest to northeast track. I could see it daily. So if there was bad weather in Dallas, Texas, within 24 to 48 hours, we would have it here. And this past summer, there was a string of tornado producing storms that went through.
Yeah, when I traveled for NBA, I didn't experience the thunderstorms. So, and we don't get thunderstorms very often in California, and they're not really that big of a deal. But when I was in the South doing NASCAR, oh my goodness, when I saw red on the radar, I'm like, That's a lot of rain, like coming out, and it's like it hurts. Like
That's
you
a
can't
hold my beer moment.
I'm not. I like bad weather. I know this sounds weird. But you know what? It's not fun to work on. And electronics in bad weather is not very good. So, especially out in a NASCAR racetrack in the middle of nowhere.
Have you had an opportunity to do any? You do NHL too, right?
Yep.
Have you ever done any of the Tampa Bay Lightning games in Tampa?
I've been to St. Pete and done baseball there, but not. I haven't done in Tampa. I have not done Tropicana Field. Yeah, but St. Pete's like 40 minutes away or something, if I recall.
Right. So that stadium. When I lived there, that stadium was built and it sat empty without a team forever, and they got the Lightning, and the Lightning was playing hockey in the baseball arena.
Really?
And I don't know if it still holds, but I think the Lightning has their own ice palace now. But at one time, the Lightning got into the playoffs, and they hold the record. At least they did the largest playoff game in attendance with actual butts in the seat. Not televised or anything because it was in the stadium. They had the normal, they set up special bleachers around the rink and everything like that. And then they used some of the bleachers and wherever it was, I think it was along the third base line or something. But because they just kept selling tickets, they just kept opening up the curtain. And I think as far as I know, that record still stands.
And actually, if a lot of people don't like Tropicana Field, I kind of liked it. You're in Central Florida. It's nice to be inside in the summertime. I'm sorry, but it is. And
it is. Yeah.
Where our production trucks park in that stadium, it's covered, but it's kind of outside. It leads to outside, and man, it's like a wet sauna in there. Like the walls are dripping. It's so humid in there, and going the nice inside dry air is like, oh my goodness, this is so good, because it's like I'm not used to the humidity.
So is it Petco that's in downtown San Diego?
Yep, gas lamp.
Okay, so I guess yeah. So when I lived there, when I was stationed there, it was Jack Murphy. And whatever the 27 names that they called it after that, but out a ways from San Diego, and that was the Chargers played there, and the Padres played at the same stadium. But Petco Stadium, I went to the Padres Dodgers. No, is it LA? Yeah, LA Dodgers. I went to that game.
World Championship.
And that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
And
that was a
nice
fun
stadium. Time.
That was a fun game because Padres fans, Dodgers fans, they would do their obligatory smack talking, but they were still high fiving and ass slapping afterwards. I mean, it was a fun game to go to. There was plenty of because I was there with a conference, right? So we're in town. There was a lot of people that had come down from LA, families, kids, the whole nine yards to come down for the series of games, and that was just a fun time. I was glad I got an opportunity to do that, and it was super easy to get into from the hotel. It was like 2 blocks over from the hotel.
It's good if you're staying and you don't have to drive into there because there's not much parking available. A lot of the new places they build here in California, they don't supply a lot of parking. They try to get you in a mass transit. Nobody uses mass transit in California. We don't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be back tomorrow, maybe in the afternoon, to try to make some contacts. I need to get some 10-meter contacts for my fake award, for my 12 days of QRZ. Because I just found out earlier today that from after Christmas till mid-January, I am going to be working almost every day, including New Year's Eve. So I'm not going to have a lot of time to play radio, which I did last time during that time of year, which is fine because I could use the work.
If you're going to be on 10 meters tomorrow, let me know. I've got to go to one of our remote data centers, but I can remote the 7300 Mark II from my iPhone, and I can upload to your fake award repository confirmations.
I could use that. 10 was just junk today. 10, 12. I made a couple contacts, but they were bare. I don't think I made one on 10. I don't think I did.
Was it junk because the band was junk, or was it junk because there was nobody there?
No, people were trying, and everybody's like, you're 0 out of 0 here in Oklahoma, and you're 0 out of 0 in Cleveland or wherever the guy was at.
Oklahoma would be a little too close. Cleveland.
But I made a contact with him a couple days ago in Oklahoma, so and it was clear. It was really good.
Bands. Propagation changes minute by minute. I think that's what so many people have come into amateur radio, and I think that's the thing they forget. Right? They're so used to it's like, they think they can run down to the Academy Sports and buy the Cadillac version of everything, and it's going to just work all the time. And we are slaves to the RF gods, and it always is going to change.
That is very true. I was finding that out during my POTA when I flipped. I did 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20. So I did 5 bands in like 30 minutes. And it was so weird seeing the propagation with these folks. Like one band, they're coming in really good. Another band, they weren't. Another band, they're coming in good. Another band, they weren't. It's pretty amazing how just like 20 megahertz of frequency makes a difference.
So the one thing I keep preaching with POTA, it's portable operations. We get a lot of people have got hung up on they got to have the perfect SWR, and they've got to have this, and they've got to have all this stuff there. Propagation changes so much that don't waste your time doing that. By the time you get your performance squeezed out and you've got your perfect 1-to-1 SWR, somebody's going to be on that frequency, or the band's going to be dead. Those are your two options there. And if it's 2-to-1, if it's 2.5-to-1, get on the air, call CQ, just do it, right? Because you got to take it while you can get it. And if you want to make contacts, but also go prepared. Take what you can. I know not everybody can afford multiple antennas and multiple radios, but a lot of times when I go, I've usually got 2 HF radios with me. I've got a couple different antenna options. I've got a couple things of coax with me. I've got a couple different ways to log, including paper if I need it. So
paper,
if you're gonna take that time, oh yeah, Jesus, dude, I was in the middle of an activation, and I was on fire, and I was logging with hammers. Not the most current iteration, but the previous iteration of hammers on my iPad, and that thing locked up on me. I'm like 40 or 45 contacts in, and that thing locked up on me. And I'm sitting there, and I've got a pile up, and I'm again as I'm reaching over and grabbing a piece of paper, right, and then busting out the pen, and I'm just continuing on. I was recording a video at the time, and so I didn't miss a beat. I kept going, but being prepared. I mean, those things happen. And
to your point, so that I don't know. I paid for that software. I like it. It froze up on me like 4 times, and I tried to like keep things going, like you were talking about. And like I'd restart it, and it would revert back to not the last frequency I was on. So then I would go right back into like typing in I do type like this. Typing in the call letters, and it's like, oh, that's like when I was on 17 meters like 20 minutes ago. Then I had to go back and change all the frequencies and all the bands for each POTA, and it would reset like the parks when I did that. Like if I did a park to park, so I lost those. Yeah. So I get it.
Was that the newer version of hammers, or
whatever's available now? Whatever the new version. I don't know. I'm running it on my Mac.
Haven't. And Jarrett did a great job with that. He really got he kicked off the the kind of the logging wars of portable logging wars, and I appreciate that. And he did a great job. I'm not sure what platform he writes in, but there's wrappers that go around that you can run it on multiple operating systems, and that's great. But World Radio League's doing a great job. Sebastian with Polo is doing a great job, and it's great because we all benefit, right? Because now there's multiple people writing software for logging and getting out there. That 5 years ago, Hammers was the new thing, or Ham RS, which I've heard it pronounced both ways, and that was great, right? But it's we have come a long way from when I started 11 or 12 years now to today. We have come a long way, and it's good, and it's a fun hobby. It's a great hobby to get out there, and I think you should get a 7300 Mark II. There you go. I just said it.
Yeah. So then I'll sell my 7610. All right, that's what you're saying is what you're.
No, so I wouldn't sell them. I would keep them both.
See, I already have. So this is what I was saying here.
Yeah,
it's my own personal opinion. I don't like stuff just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, so right now,
I get rid of.
Go ahead.
I'd get rid of the 891. Take the 7610 POTA with you, and put the 7300 in for your live streams.
I like the footprint of the 891. I actually like it as a POTA radio. It's small. The 7300 would be big for me. I was kind of hoping, Don, you're a cranky old fart. That's what you are, Don. But I made some good contacts with him last week, though.
Don's still upset about that OVF light.
He got me on like 5 bands for 2 different UTC days.
Yeah. Hey, Don, if you utilized your RF gain and backed it down a little bit, that wouldn't be a problem. That's what they taught me when I first learned how to do HF, was to roll the RF down, and that cuts out a lot of that excessive noise too. I mean, there's some benefit to it.
I can't do anything about my 40 meter noise here. It's miserable. But
no, you can't. But to that point, Mike demonstrated that very well on the thing with all the RF noise he had on there. If you looked at his waterfall, he pulled his RF gain back. He also pulled down the reference level on that waterfall, and it was night and day. And he could still see strong signals in there, right? But it's mostly FT8. But well, you fight that too, right? With the
it's ridiculous
you got there.
Ridiculous. I'm in a cookie cutter house here in California.
I remember Don used to a few years back before Don moved, he was in a situation like that in his house, and I remember he had to have a flex. I think he had it at his sister's house or a family member's house, and if he wanted to do any kind of real voice stuff and things like that, he had to remote away from the house to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's why I like doing the portable stuff. Because I can drive 2 miles and I get rid of the noise. I'm out in farm territory. But by the way, when I do that POTA over at Butterfield 9757, I don't know if you guys watched Back to the Future. It is right where the Lions Estates. That's where they filmed the Back to the Future scene for Lion Estates, where they came back to 1955, November 5th or whatever.
Neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's like a 2-minute walk, 5-minute walk maybe. I don't know. It's across Euclid, not too far away from where I do. It's by I'm spacing on the name of the park, which I don't know why it's not a POTA. Yeah. But so I don't know. There's no noise out there. There's nothing out there. I like that fact. I also like being just away from everything. It's just kind of nice. You're just with this big old giant antenna, and all these people from all over the place are coming in. Like, they're just banging in from all over the world. Like, all of a sudden, some guy from South America and then some guy from Australia will pop in. You're like, whoa, this guy's coming in the middle of nowhere? Like, that's pretty cool. And I could see where Kim is at. K6YYL, I can look right straight north. I could see right where she's at, like 5 miles away.
Oh, look at that. Don says he's thinking about trading in his 7300 for the new one.
It's going to be happening a lot. I just don't.
Don,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Don, it's definitely a nice radio. I don't know if you're on here when I was talking about kind of like the differences between the Flex and that and the, since I don't use all the extensive filtering and everything, and well, Flex doesn't seem to really want to support the 66,000 series radios anymore, other than just basic firmware. It was time to move on.
See, and the other thing is, I don't like having a bunch of radios doing nothing. I see a lot of people with like 10 HTs. Like, seriously, what are you going to do with 10 HTs? Like,
yeah.
How many?
Give them away.
How many? I don't know.
Greg's calling final check-in right now.
Final. Hopefully I can get to sleep tonight. That's one of my goal tonight, is to sleep like 5 hours. I'll be happy if I get 5 hours of sleep, because the last like 7 nights I've not been able to sleep. So Mac version SDR, yes.
Yeah. So Don, I have that. I only had the SDR control for the iPhone when I was using the 705, but I did get it for the Mac. And I was texting, or not texting, but emailing back and forth with Marcus, because he had started to put some framework in for it, but wasn't sure if it was going to work. And so I confirmed him that all the stuff was working, and I was like, Marcus, if you want, I'll sandbox the radio and you can connect to it and do some testing and everything. And I think he said he was supposed to be getting one in that early this week. So he was going to do that, but I think he's getting ready to go on his Christmas holiday shutdown for the rest of the year.
Oh, have you done free DV with it yet?
No, not direct. I honestly, the one thing I have not done is actually plugged it into the computer. I've done it remote over the Ethernet. And I started playing with the free DV with the Flex, using the same framework of software to do that. You have to I have to use loopback to pipe the audio through, but
loopback is amazing.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It makes it possible for this stream.
You'll get a kick out of this. You had mentioned as a virtualization engineer, as an IT guy, I don't really want buttons and knobs, but when it comes to live audio engineering, I want to be 100% analog. I hate digital. To me, it is annoying. And there's nothing worse when you go into a venue and you walk in there and they've got a stinking digital board, and you have to do pages on pages of pages to and then everything is embedded down. I want off-board processing, and I want knobs, and I want 48 or 96 freaking channels. I don't want 8 pages of whatever it is, 16 channels. That drives me up a wall. There we go. I said it.
I like kind of both aspects of it, because I kind of grew into both of them. I don't really mix that much, but there's a lot of flexibility in the digital world. There's not in that way of analog. Okay, let me tell you something. One of my first gigs, I did utility for the MTV Music Video Awards over at the Universal Amphitheater that doesn't exist anymore. I think it's a ride now. Anyways, I had like 3 hours free, and I asked the audio mixer, can I just watch? And those guys were taking Polaroids of the console during rehearsal, and in between acts, they're going to the Polaroid and like moving the knobs to where the Polaroid was on the picture in between acts. That's how they save what we call snapshots now. It's pretty amazing. I mean, they got it close. It's not going to be the same, but and those are like, I don't know, 120 input boards, old school SSL, big, giant, heavy. This was like this was the deal. And then they had like 3 audio trucks that were just like recording audio trucks. They're taking all the splits into, and they were sending out to different feeds. Yeah. It was, amazing. And I was like, but like 2 years after that, they started the digital world, and it was like, well, that's no fun.
So in shows like that, when we would deal with multiple artists, we would run multiple consoles, so we wouldn't have to do that. We would take the outputs and mix it down into our primary system, and just basically use that mixing desk as a sub mix and bring it in that way, and do that, and then all your openers. But in the live sound music, I don't care who the band is. If you're an opening act, you're going to sound like crap. They will not make you sound good unless there's some agreement to do that. You're as an opening act. I don't care if you're a
don't let them roll the tricks.
God, somebody's like, oh, I like this band. I'm like, I don't want to. I hate going to concerts and having to hear opening acts. Not that the band is bad. It's just that first of all, they let their entry level front of house engineers, they're new people.
They're monitor mix guys, mix front of house.
No, dude, monitor mixing is a whole different art in and itself. And I've stepped away from it. I had to make a decision on where, what's going to pay the bills, and touring and that was not paying the bills. And I've worked with a lot of national acts, but I was never lucky enough to start out with one to be their tour engineer that for any band that's like made it bigger than big, not like a Dave Ratt or anything like that.
All right. On that note, this is going to be the final. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say goodnight to Haley.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get
final check-ins.
Final check-ins to the audio net here on 40.
How is my
meter.
audio across this thing?
It was kind of choppy, but I fixed it up a little bit. But I think it might.
Okay,
I don't know. The best person. Go ahead.
1,975 drops. 180.
Yeah.
I'm dropping some packets.
Are you in the Ethernet?
Yeah. I am.
So hit that.
No, I'm on the wireless here. Hold on.
That's why.
Hold on.
And then after that,
dude, I run professional audio or professional wireless gear in my house.
I don't have any professional gear here.
Yeah.
So after you go back, if you go to you might have to reconnect because the IP.
No, I'm there.
You are there. So hit the arrow.
Which arrow?
Next to your receive buffer.
Okay. The back arrow or the one with the line? Oh, resets. There we go.
Yep. I didn't change anything.
204, 206,
so let me
297. It's climbing.
Back to here.
Although I'm down to 13 milliseconds.
Let me see if I can. So, that might. Okay. So that Go ahead and talk again.
Audio test 1 2.
I'm not taking any hits
1 2
now.
3 4.
And I'm down. I got you down to jitter buffer of 18. Sean K6EGG. I don't know what he's running for his connection. I have no jitter buffer at all. 0, and he's at his ping is like 25 milliseconds, which is crazy fast for being halfway across the country. That's about as good as you're going to get physics wise, just because the distance.
19. Oh yeah.
So this should be less delayed. So if I
that's what I'm seeing. 65, 60, mid 60s on the latency milliseconds.
So if I sent you back like I'm going to do right now, you should see your, I don't know, 1/10 of a second, something like that. Go ahead and talk.
1 2 3 4. Oh,
yeah, that's not too bad. Going across the country and coming right back. And I turned it off.
Yeah.
Audio routing. There you go. All right. I got to get out of here. You guys take care. I'll leave you guys with some Weather Channel. Tim, Grayman Poda, thank you for being in here. November Whiskey 9F.
Foxtrot.
There you go.
Florida.
Oh, it's up on my screen. I forgot. I could have cheated. I didn't realize. I was trying to remember, and I'm like, it will come to me as I get to the end, I think. Thank you for being in here. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Thanks
no,
for
thank
talking the new 7300. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting mad because I didn't mess up his call sign. I could have.
gosh.
And Andy's
You
up at
could.
5 a.m. Almost in England. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the music. Hopefully, it's good this time.